I'm here in Surrey, England, in the hometown of Julie Andrews, born October 1st in 1935, to Barbara Wells. Her mother was married to Edward Wells, who made a modest living teaching how to weld metal, but Julie was in reality conceived in a scandalous affair that Barbara had with a family friend. Occupied by World War II for a short time, the couple remained married for a few short years, but soon became divorced after the birth of Julie. Edward Wells, who thought he was a father to Julie, served as just that throughout her childhood. Both Edward and Barbara remarried soon after their divorce. Now, as far as I know, Julie left her small home, which looked something like this, and moved in with her father. Her mother remarried to Ted Andrews in 1939, while her supposed father wedded a co-worker at a war factory in Hinchleywood, Surrey. His wife was a hairstylist. In her young years, Julie lived with her brother as well as her father, John Wells, in Surrey, England. By the age of 5, she was sent to live with her mother and stepfather because her father was unable to support her and finance her efforts in showcasing her artistic talent. Now here I am, more in the city of Surrey, where Julie lived with her mother and stepfather, who were vaudeville performers. Her father lived more in the farmlands. Now Julie describes her childhood as being a very black period of her life. She also notes as an adult that her family was extremely poor and lived in a bad slum area of London, unlike how Surrey is today. She truly is a shining example of a rag to riches success story. Now I've found that upon her move with her mother encouraged Julie to refer to the man that she thought to be her birth father, Ted, as Uncle Ted, while her mother insisted that she call her stepfather Pop. Here I am at another popular location in Surrey. Now, with some research, I have found that her mother legally changed Julie's last name to Andrews in another effort to push the man she considered her father out of her life. Now, in addition to having very little as a young person, Julie lived in a home with 2 alcoholics, as both her mother and stepfather suffered from alcohol addictions. Julie's brothers were abused physically in the home. Her stepfather, Ted, made sexual advances on young Julie, forcing her to put a lock on her door when she felt vulnerable. Both Ted and Barbara pursued careers on the stage, and as they started to do better after several years of struggling, the family moved to Beckenham, a slightly better area of Surrey, as you see here. Now, at last, things began to turn around for young Andrews, along with the rest of Surrey, as the war was finally over. Her father was able to send money for lessons, which Julie took at the Cone-Rittman School, a London school of art. And then she continued with the vocal instructor, Madame Lillian Stiles Allen. At an extremely young age, Andrews had perfect pitch. She also had an extremely gifted vocal ability. From the ages of 10 to 12, Julie has made a few appearances with her mom and stepfather, and eventually was allowed to sing more regularly at nights, either performing sweet solos or a duet with her stepfather, Ted. Her first legitimate vocal debut occurred when Ted introduced Julie to Val Parnell, the big name to London's prominent venues. She sang in a musical revue called The Starlight Roof and was an instant success.